What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode number 1 of the Talkin' Puck podcast. I'm here with my brother, Brandon Murray, and Matthew Stanley.
What's going
And
on?
yeah, let's get into it. So, this is the first one of hopefully many. We got a lot more guests and people coming on in the future. So, we're really looking
For
forward to it.
sure.
And
Yep. We got a big Q star coming up next, Colby Huggin.
yeah, for sure, for sure. A couple more major midget players and people like that. And really excited. Really looking forward to this. And
Oh yeah.
hopefully in the future, get Brandon back on. And yeah,
Never know.
perfect first guest.
Never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, so we'll start off, I guess, just talking about how your season's going, how everything's going, at a new school, getting used to everything and higher level of
Yeah.
hockey than what you played last year. So, yeah, just
Yeah.
elaborate on that.
Well, I guess there's a little bit of a jump, obviously. Just
Yeah.
only playing Double A last season and then getting a chance to play Triple A this year. I mean, I'm grateful for it. It was definitely a jump a little bit. Like early on, I struggled to find my game. I'd say like first couple games weren't exactly the way would like them to go. But
Yeah.
we had a showcase in Ottawa, and that's when things started to slowly turn around. So I started playing better. I was getting I just more confidence, I guess. I was starting to find my game, and then I just kept slowly improving from there. And then I had my first regular season win at home one night. That was a good feeling, I guess. And then once you get that feeling, you never want it to go away. Kind of boost
Hmm.
your compete level a little bit, and you don't want to stop. So
Yeah.
then, yeah, so you just kind of build on that. And then anyway, next game I get to start against the top team in the league. Played all right, just a couple of things didn't go our way. Ended up losing, but they were a solid team anyway. And then we went over to Moncton. Okay weekend, could have been better. It wasn't our best weekend, that's for sure. And then yeah, we come back and then play. We had one weekend before Christmas. It was super busy. We pick up 4 points, 3 games, hoping for a six, but hoping for five at least. But they scored like 30 seconds left, if that. So unfortunate series of events there, but it was a good weekend. So lately, anyway, after the first couple starts, we really turned things around, I'd say.
Hmm. Yeah. And as you said, like the season's not going like what you would preferably want, but you're getting your name out there, and that's always good. Getting
Yeah,
Yeah,
scouted. And that.
especially going from the Monktonian, going on a showcase there.
exactly. Yeah. That was a good weekend too, like fun weekend. Different too,
Yeah.
playing in that kind of environment. It was my first time
Yeah.
playing that
Yeah.
many.
Playing some of
Yes.
the higher teams in the Maritimes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Like Halifax, getting to play against Halifax, that was
Yeah.
one of the better teams I think I've ever gotten to play against. It's
Yeah,
from the
one of the
Atlantic
better teams in
region
the
at least.
Maritimes.
Yeah, for sure. And then RNS too, they have a pretty good name for them.
Yeah.
So mm.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. What was it like moving from home to from PEI to where you are now in Ontario?
Okay, so like just from a home standpoint, the first kind of week, first couple days were a little weird, obviously. So like going home where you can do whatever you want, you come here, it's a little more strict. You really got no one to lead you. You're kind of on your own a little bit, I guess. And yeah, so homesickness wasn't a big factor, but it was obviously there a little bit. And you just kind of slowly adjust. You start meeting new people. Like that was the worst part, coming in not knowing anyone, and to meet
Yeah.
a bunch of new friends. But that's all right. It's just part of life.
Yeah.
So and then from a hockey standpoint too, the skill level. There's a wide range of skill level here for sure. Like and
Especially being Ontario, where
yeah,
there's
exactly.
where there's pretty big names there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like my league right now, like there's I think it was
Whitby.
5 or 6 of the guys were in the top 20, and like 3 or 4 of them were in the top 10 or like the top point scorers right now in
Right.
Canada or whatever. So yeah, and then also the showcases too, playing against different teams that you only hear about online. It's kind of cool getting to play against them. So
Yeah.
Big.
it's a lot different than back home too. That's for sure. Just
Yeah.
people are just I don't know, like back home, like there's a couple good people on the team, and then there's just like people that are good, and then you get a couple like all stars. Like here, everyone's good,
Yeah.
basically.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's basically a whole all-star team in Ontario.
Yeah, but pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. We can cut like these pauses and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So,
Is there any,
what do you think? What do you think your biggest achievement is so far? And
the biggest
as, yeah,
like since I got here?
yeah.
Yeah.
In your opinion.
Honestly, like since like I said, like I had a pretty rough start. And that's just a given. Like my first two starts weren't even like
Shake off the dust.
like a preseason game too I had. I wasn't really happy with the way I played. So then anyway, my first accomplishment like that I was proud of myself was definitely that first win. Like I got my first win of the season, I guess, out in Ottawa for a showcase tournament, but I didn't really it wasn't really like a true win. Like we scored an empty net with a tie game just because we needed to move on. So anyway, but I feel like my first accomplishment was definitely my first win regular season. And I feel like that was definitely probably my best game yet that I played. It was like 3-1 against the Cornwall team here, so local team. But then like I'd say one of the bigger ones too was just getting a shutout right before Christmas.
yeah,
Obviously, that's a good feeling. Starting to turn things around. And that's what we all look forward to.
yeah.
And just a good step in the right direction, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Good
definitely.
feeling. Good feeling getting a shutout right before
Yeah,
Christmas.
for sure,
Nice
for
little
sure. Yeah,
early Christmas present.
yeah. Go home on a high note.
Oh
Yeah.
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 And you're still on a high note right now. You guys haven't got back to play, and I mean, how does that affected you? Just sitting into
Oh,
school like all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not very fun. That's for sure. Like
Yeah.
everyone is here just itching to get some ice time right now. Like even back home, like a lot of people they decided to stay home and not come for the last 3 weeks just because they were getting ice. But like people aren't probably in the same shape as they were before we left too,
Yeah.
because gyms and that closed like gyms and that like all across Canada closed pretty much, and then even here like we couldn't go in our gym for the first couple days, and then now that we
Yeah.
can, and a lot of people don't go. Like there's a lot of people that just sit down at home, and then last week wasn't too bad, but because we could at least our gym teacher was there, or like our trainer, I guess you could say, he was there to give us workouts, which is good because a lot of us didn't really know what we're doing. Like me, for example, like I would go, I just didn't really know what to do, to be honest. And then anyway, we have a treadmill here too for the players. So the first 2 weeks we had players were skating on the treadmill for a little bit, and
Yeah.
then last week we took advantage of the ice time like being empty and all that. And what we did, we had meets from teams, coaches from all over the Canada pretty much, and in the States. Like we had a meet about NCAA, like how do you get recruited to there? And then we had meets with coaches from the AJ, the Maritime League, Saskatchewan League, even the NAHL, the North American League down in the States, and the U show. So yeah, so it was good too. Like because if we didn't, like if we were on the ice, we didn't have this pause. Like we wouldn't be able to get that kind of
Exactly.
feedback. Like so it's kind of good to hear like how do you get to the next level and that kind of stuff, and like what the other coaches had to say, and a lot of them were very similar to what they had to say too. Just a lot of like one thing I really liked too was just they said like take your time with it too, like
Yeah.
take your time with the sport. It's a marathon, not a race, I guess, or a sprint.
Yeah.
Because like one thing that surprised me and really kind of opened up my mind a little bit was we were talking about the NCAA, and I think it was 50 something, 53%, maybe it was even more of the goalies in that league weren't playing junior until they were 18 years old. So they weren't playing until they were done midget. So
Mm.
like Connor Hellebuck was at the time, he was 17. He was still playing high school hockey in Michigan. But yeah, just not having the ice time. It's nice that we got to talk to that, but at the same time, it would be nice to get back on, that's for sure.
Oh, for 100. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I'm hearing a bunch of different stuff. Some people were saying that it's supposed to be Monday, but I don't think Monday is going to happen. And then heard other people saying Wednesday, and now I hear other people saying the 31st. So we don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Espe- uh, Especially for you, do you stay in the gym in there all the time, just trying to keep working?
Yeah, yeah. So like during our ice time too, like first week we had meet, so we would have a meet, and then they would open up the gym during our ice time, so it was open for an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. So during that time, once I was done the meet, I would get to the gym and I would try to do something, like even if it was something small, I would try to do it. And then,
Right.
so my first week, like I was trying to do stuff like that I remembered, but like I didn't really I wasn't going in there with a plan. So then a lot of the time I was just trying to stretch and
Yeah.
get more flexible. Like that's one goal I have now too, because one goalie here, he's one of the most flexible guys I've ever met, and I was like, man, I want to be able to do the splits, you know. So
Yeah.
anyway, so that's one thing I try to do, and then last week they changed it. We go during a normal gym time because we're online school, so right now, so yeah, and I started Googling some workouts. They were a little weird. I didn't really know why I was doing some of the exercises, but it was better than what I was doing, that's for sure. And then our trainer, coach, whatever you want to call him, he was there too, which was good. Get a real workout in.
Yeah.
Do them TikTok spine circles.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
So,
For you,
yeah.
what do you think your biggest challenge was moving from PEI to Ontario?
It was definitely just making the jump to the level, basically, because it wasn't even like I wouldn't even say it was that big of a jump,
Right.
like from a
Some
skill
higher
wise,
level
like
teams.
yeah, exactly. But like in the summers, like I'm skating with that kind of caliber hockey anyway. It's like the skill wise wasn't much of a jump, but just the schedule and everything too. Because my first week I was drained. My first 2 weeks, like I was drained. Like I wasn't used to skating every day. Like maybe every second or third day, I was used to getting on the ice. And two, it was an hour and a half rather than compared to an hour. And then waking up at 6:45 every day to go to class because class starts at 7:30, and then yeah, so and then half the time you can't get to bed. You're staying up and then working out every day too. And the workouts at the start of the year they were pretty tough. Like
Just
they
draining.
used
They're draining you.
yeah, exactly. So it was just that was probably one of the biggest challenges. And then into the season, I wouldn't really say it was a challenge like with skill level or anything. It was just the fact of me trying to find my game because I had to try to come up with new routines because every single thing that I used to do before just stopped working. So I had to come up with new ways and try to find new ways to do stuff before games, even if it's just something small. Just try to do it and add it to my routine.
Thinking outside the box.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you think you'd be playing in the OMHA, sorry, from a small kid from Newfoundland moving to Ontario, playing
I
in this high level league?
Yeah, well, like I always wanted to get a chance to play at a prep school, like, because I knew a couple of people that started going away, and I was like, man, I really want to do that, but I never really thought I would get it really a chance to go.
Exactly.
Just, and then anyway, last year, one of the recruiters here know my goalie coach, which is nice. So then he called him, asked him if they had a goalie, and he put my name out there, and they ended up giving me a spot. So anyway, I was really grateful for that.
Yeah.
Pretty, I was pretty excited too. The moment they called, I was watching Noah's ball game when they called, and I was just ecstatic afterwards. I couldn't sleep two
Yeah.
nights, and then yeah, and I never really thought I would get a chance. And then I started thinking, it's like, man, what if this isn't the right thing for me? Like, you know, and I'm
Right.
like, man, I'm coming from this level. Like, what if the jump is too big? Like, I wasn't sure if I should do it. And then I was sitting there one day, and they emailed saying, okay, yeah, we really got to know by the end of this weekend. So I was like, all right, I'll just go. I just got to go.
Just do it. Yeah.
If I don't, I'll regret it. I would regret it. And you never know. I could have ended up getting back and not playing where I wanted to be playing. And I'm
Mhm.
thankful here. I ended up getting on the team I wanted to. So
Yeah, and like you
it's
learned
good.
a lot too, because like now you have like different routes. Like when we were back, like
Hmm.
even just last season in Newfoundland was like Q or Junior A, but now you're like, what if you go play in the CCHL or like something out in
Yeah.
Ontario, then go down to play NCAA and stuff like that. So a lot
Yeah.
more
It opens
routes.
up your, yeah, and it opens up your mind too. Like
Yeah,
you get
Yeah.
more, you get more exposure up here too, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
mm,
Like for
anyway,
example, Connor McMichael played for the Quinton Red Devils, and he's in the league that he was in the league that you're in right now. So
yeah,
anything
yeah,
could
they're
happen
a good
there.
team. They're a good team
Yeah,
too.
he definitely ended up going to play for the Royal Juniors, which was pretty big.
Yeah,
So
like my league right now, like we have a couple of guys that are they're really strong. That's for sure. Like there's
yeah,
some really good guys in this league.
hmm
Even the goaltending's pretty good. Like there's one goalie against the top team in the league. He goes out and has a 53 save shutout. It's like that's insane. He faced like 30 something shots in a period. Like he's really good. There's
hmm
a lot of good talent here. That's for sure.
from uh from the OMHA, do you think you're just going up and up and up
I
in
feel like
level?
yeah. I think so. Yeah. Like our team, we have the least amount of games played out of everyone else. just because we go to, like, we were in Moncton and all that kind of stuff. But I just wonder, and also too, we went home for Christmas, so like